It is sunrise on departure day. Velam and Ball inspect the completed riverboat in preparation for their journey from Uruk in southern Mesopotamia to Ugarit on the northern shore of the Levant. It has been in the water a week, Ball says. The planking should be swollen and watertight. There should be no significant leakage. Cargo and supplies for the journey are marshaled behind the masonry shop. Velam and Ball inspect. Mason appears behind his shop. Mason says, "When do you think you'll have this stuff cleared out?" "I expect deliveries late morning." Velam says, "The thralls will be here after they finish breakfast. I expect them in about a half an hour. Once they get here, it won't take long to load." Mason says, "Okay. You know, word is going around that you have a less than 50-50 chance of returning. I hear it's worse now, with the sacrifice going all wrong and all." Velam says, "Nothing went wrong with the sacrifice." Tell that to Anoma. I wish that rumor would go away. Mason says, "I know we have a deal where I'm to supply you with 400 tons of brick. You have paid half. For that I'm grateful. There's no issue with the delivery of the half that is paid for, but considering the risk, I will not produce the second half until you return. If you fail to return and I do not get paid, I will end up with way too much inventory. That could ruin me." Velam says, "I understand your predicament. Just make sure you complete the first half right away and work overtime to produce the second half when I return." Mason looks at Velam with a mixture of sorrow, pity, and envy. "You know, your journey is fraught with peril. From wild animals to bandits to rogue Assyrian and Hittite warriors, there is a lot that can go wrong. I have known few in my years that have made the journey and survived. Meade is one, but half I never heard from again. I envy your spirit and your sense of adventure and ambition, but even if I was young enough, I would not join you for all the golden maidens in Babylonia." Velam says, "Well, nobody asked." Chal arrives on the deck. "Doc." Chal says, "I've got the cooking oil, fuel, oil, and tar." Velam says, "Let's review the travel plan. We'll start by heading west on the Euphrates. The river will take us north to Babylon. It should take us 7 days. Then 10 days to get from Babylon to Edu, another 10 to get to Turka, 13 to get to Emar. Then we'll load the boat onto dollies and cross the desert from Emar to Ugarit. Another 10 days. 50 days total for planning purposes. Now for the question of cargo and supplies. We will deliver 5 crates to Babylon. These contain the 500 red tunics Bishop requested, and other goods Meade is shipping to Babylonian merchants. There is the matter of fulfilling a rook sacrificial offering to Babylon consisting of 40 round shields and 40 bronze-tipped spears. That satisfies our commitment to Babylon and should free up room for the crew. Provisions, supplies, and equipment include feed and food for 2 oxen and 12 crew, enough to last 10 days. The plan is to resupply every 10 days. Beer, a tent for camp shelter, cooking pots and buckets, watering tubs, 2 bows, 40 arrows, a dozen chest plates, a dozen shields, a dozen helmets, and a dozen iron-tipped spears. 2 cans of oil, 1 for cooking and 1 for fuel. 10 gallons of tar for maintenance and repairs. A toolbox with hammers, saws, shovels, axes, draw knives, tongs, sharpening stones, and other essentials. Boxes of various and sundry items. And a small cart for overland movement of materials. Thralls will be here soon with 1 ox. Maul will meet us on the far side of the drawbridge with the 2nd ox. Pulas will be here shortly. Komal said he will join us. We'll see if that is the case. I am bringing Forgar for military support. And the hostage, Lilia, horned her way in for a seat. She's bringing her cat. Ball says, "I have anchors, tarps, anvils, rope, and fishing nets below decks." "Great. Don't forget your personal gear bags." Chal says, "Already below." The boat dollies and frames are already loaded, Ball says. Velam replies, "Great. 1 less headache." Ball continues, "The bow lookout nest was installed as ordered, as well as the aft deck, and 8 oars. Good. Looks like the thralls are here, and Forgar Pulast and the ox. Alright, you thralls, get this boat loaded. Make it snappy. We gotta be out of here by lunch. Ball will give you direction. Thrall says, "You got it, boss."